There is no imagination and reality. They are the same thing, okay? So when you were born on this earth, you had no way of deciphering between the two. Like, you had no idea what imagination or reality were. They were just one to you. Everything was just one. And the reason for this is because you were not thinking a bunch of thoughts in your mind. You had like feelings maybe, but you did not have thoughts coming up in your mind, because what divides the imagination and so-called reality is the brain, okay? It's the thinking mind. And that's not to say that you want to go around not having a brain, but trust me, there is a much higher intelligence at play when you don't let your thinking mind always get in the way of everything. So as you go throughout life, you start to think more thoughts, you get attached to certain things, you have new beliefs that you build. And as you do this, you start to create more and more separation between the two parts of your mind, between imagination and reality, as in the past, future, and the present, okay? Because imagination is really just the past, the future, and then the present is just what you're seeing right in front of you. So you start to create this separation, what you call, again, reality and imagination, but really there was no separation to begin with. So imagination, as you see it right now, is like the sped up version of reality. You can think of it like the vapor form of water or something, where you can't see it, but it's there and it exists right now. And then out here, it's like the slowed down version of reality. Like, reality is slowed down imagination. It's slowed down enough to the point where you can see it in front of you. But it wasn't always like this. At one point, your outside world was very similar to what you call imagination. When you were a baby, the reason you don't remember much is because your past and your future and your present were all pretty much one. There was no distinction between them until you started having thoughts. And then your thoughts started to create a past for you and a future for you. And they start to slow you down, because what happens when you think thoughts in the mind is that they start to essentially stop this flow of consciousness. They slow it down when you start to attach to things. Think of it like you're throwing rocks in this river and you're starting to build kind of like a wall where this consciousness can't flow quite as easily. But the main thing that these thoughts are doing is that they're creating breaks in this flow of consciousness, okay? It's like creating this moment of pause where all of a sudden now there's a wall there, and now there's another wall here, and there's another wall here. It starts to break off this flow of consciousness into these pieces. Now it's like sectioned off. So instead of being one continuous flow, now you have these sections, which we call time, which we call a day or a month, or, you know, this happened 2 days ago, this happened a week ago, a month ago, and this is how we get time. All right. And essentially in imagination, there is no time. Everything happens instantly there, right? So that is the main difference, is that out here, you're experiencing time. And as you move through reality and get older and older, you feel like there's more and more time that's passed, because you create more and more of these little blocks with every single thought that you think about the so-called past or future. So now when you observe something in so-called imagination, you believe that that thing doesn't instantly manifest in front of you, when in actuality, it did just happen, because everything happens right here, right now. Everything's happening all at once. But in your version of reality that you're seeing out here, you don't believe it happened, because you are moving slower. You've created the separation between you and your true self through all of these thoughts that you've had. So now, when you try to manifest this thing, it's going to come towards you. It's coming towards you. Like, you're going to receive that thing. But because you don't instantly see it, you believe that it's not really here. So then you end up imagining something else in place of that thing that you originally wanted. And then that's what you eventually end up receiving. But the truth is that if you continuously just understand that the moment you thought of that thing, you became entangled with that thing, like that thing will become yours eventually, then it will, because all that's happening is it's moving slower towards you. It has to slow itself down to appear in your reality. But there's also a way that you can get to it more quickly, and that is to speed up the rate at which consciousness is moving through you. So as I said earlier, thoughts are the thing that slow you down. When you get into this idea of time, that's when consciousness is slowed down. Okay, so think of it like when people say you're having fun, time passes faster, and then when you're in a class or a lecture that's really boring, you're staring at the clock, time seems to pass super slow. That's because you're focused on time. all it is you focusing on time versus not focusing on time. So how do you not focus on time? To not focus on time is to be completely present in the moment. So start to be exactly where you are in this moment. You know, feel your feet on the floor, or touch something in your environment, like feel it, look around, use your senses. You know, what are you smelling? What are you hearing? Anything like that, to be in the present moment, okay? That's one thing, but also it's having no thought. And I know that's easier said than done, but all you have to do is start meditating for like 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, whatever you can do at first, because just like a muscle you build in the gym, you build it in your mind, okay? Like you will become better and better at this the more you do it. So I don't want to hear anyone say, you know, I can't think no thoughts. I have ADHD or something. I have ADHD. I was diagnosed with it. I can have no thoughts now. I am very good at it, okay? I used to be terrible at it. But if you practice every day meditating for a little bit each day, you will build this muscle within yourself. And the longer you can go with no thought, in between thinking a thought too, like every time you've thought a thought, if you can kind of give even a bit of space between that and the next thought, you will start to manifest things much faster in reality, because now what you're doing is allowing this river of consciousness to flow through you more quickly. You're waiting before you create this next thought in the place of this river. You're allowing it to flow, to flow, to flow. Because every time you think a thought, just remember that you're creating sort of like a box. Every time you create a thought and then another thought, it's like creating this little box. And that's kind of where time exists, okay? So you want to be without time. When you're engrossed in the moment, where you're doing something that you love, usually there's no concept of time because you're into what you're doing. That's why we always say, do what you love, do what you're passionate about, because this will actually bring about things you want more quickly, only because you are engrossed in the moment. So as long as you're being present, as long as you are giving your brain moments of silence, you will start to allow time, so-called time, to move through you more quickly, and you will experience more of what you want more quickly, because in reality, you are not really moving anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Things are just passing through you. This is how the entire universe works. Everything is just moving through you. Think of yourself like a tree on the ground, okay? You're not going anywhere. It's just your translucent tree, and this river is flowing through you. All the things you're experiencing that you feel like you're moving towards or away from, you're not going anywhere. They're coming towards you. They're coming to you. So just keep that in mind, and just, I promise you, this will change the way that you manifest things. Don't try to worry about manifesting a specific thing, a specific person, whatever. Just master the art of no thought and meditation and being in the present moment, and anything you want to manifest from then on will come to you so much faster than ever before. And I can attest to this. This works for me. Way too good. You will unravel more of the universe than you ever knew. You will understand things from such a high perspective that manifesting will be kind of the least of your worries at some point. So just keep this in mind. And if you're interested in this topic or anything else that I teach, I have a YouTube channel, The Soul's Playground Official, which we're getting close to 6,000 subscribers now. I just opened up a membership section for those of you that want additional tips or help with things. So definitely join if you're interested. I really appreciate the support here and there. And comment, like, share, all that good stuff if you enjoyed this. And I'll see you in the next one. Right? Thanks. Bye.